Alright guys, today I want to show you the Langmuir arc flat table and what I ended up doing for a rolling base on this thing. So I actually purchased two of the blocks and I bolted them together. That's going to give me a 4 foot by 3 foot table. I did not choose to purchase the leg kit that they sell for this. I made the leg kit out of 3 by 3 by 1/8 inch square steel tube. As you can see, we've got casters all the way around with the brakes. I do have to add a leveling mechanism to this thing so you can really fine tune it and get the tabletop nice and flat. As you can see, the top here has the bolts on it. I welded end caps on the steel tubing and I drilled and tapped to capture those bolts. So looking at the side of the table here, I've got some clamp storage that I cut and bent up. Still not completely finished with that. I might add another one. So if we go to the side of the table here, you'll notice I have a crossbar dead center. And the purpose for that is I'm able to get a chair underneath here, TIG welding pedal underneath here, without it interfering with my feet. So if we look up inside of the table here, that's what the casting looks like. The thickness of the cast iron is approximately 5/16, just a little bit over. You'll see that I have the tabletops bolted together in a few spots. This is just temporary. These are normal bolts. Langmuir does sell epoxy filled bolts so you can really get this thing nice and flat and it won't go anywhere after you tighten it up. So going over to this side here, this area is open right now. I'm going to put more rails on here to hold grinders, maybe a tray or something to hold some of my different tooling as well. So as you can see here, those are the holes that are countersunk for the bolts. If you were to just have one tabletop, they also have the same countersunk holes if you're using just one tabletop at a time, or however the configuration that you want to use. So all in all, it's been a pretty good table. It's been nice to have a nice flat surface. I did buy a precision machine straight edge, and I checked this thing in multiple places. It does appear to be very accurate. The packaging was pretty good when I got it. Very heavy, a lot to handle by yourself. The table did have some marks in it from shipping damage. There was nothing that was I needed to make a claim or anything about, so as you can see here, there's a few different marks here and there. But I want to show you guys the different types of tool. One question that I couldn't really get answered was what was the actual size of the hole to see how different tools fit in here. So I'll show an example on how those work, and I'll measure the tools and show you the tool hole sizes. Alright, so let's talk about the tooling and the actual hole size. So the actual hole size of this is 0.628, 629. I've measured a ton of these holes. That's about what they seem to be. So this is a 5/8 round pin from Stronghand. As you can see, when you put these in here, very sloppy. So measuring these pins out, these pins measure 621. So I have here a square pin from Fireball Tool. These are a little bit better for this table. So 626 on that. So as you can see, it's a lot tighter compared to the Stronghand. Still has some play, but it needs to have at least something in there. But when you look at something like a clamp, for example, same thing, it's a Stronghand clamp. You see how much play is in there. When you go to tighten down on something, let's see here. When you go to tighten down on something, it really has to flex quite a bit more to actually start to engage clamping down because of how much play is in that clamp. So this table is more appropriately sized to 16 millimeter tooling. So if you can find tools for that, you'll be better off with that. But so far, the tooling from Fireball, what they call their 5/8 tooling, has worked pretty good. These are some fence blocks here that you're able to interchange. You're able to go taller on these. They actually fit a little tighter than I want sometimes, but that tooling seems to work pretty good. You can also use, if you want to use some homemade type of stops or tooling, if you don't want to spend a bunch of money, this is just a cheap 1/4 inch one that I bent. I plasma cut the holes in the right spots there. If you really need to, and it's not something terribly accurate that you're working on, you can bolt these down underneath if you want to make a stop. This is fairly straight here, at least for now. So total cost for this thing with the base that I built, I've got about $1,500 into it, not including my time. So not a terrible deal. I like the wheels on it. I can roll it, get it out of my way when I don't need it in my way, or don't need it in my shop, I mean. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, if there's a better deal out there. I almost bought the Rhino cart from Strong Hand, which has a little bit smaller of a table, but it also has some storage on the side for different tools and whatnot. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and thanks for watching.